went a little too far. Sorry about that, guys at home. Let's get back here. All right, so I went to a positive 15 because it's a minus 20. So I have positive 15, but I'm going to take away 20, which means I'm going to go backwards. So I'm going to count from here. Oops. Sorry about that. So now I'm going to count while moving to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh, it's a lot of counting. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So if we went 20 backwards, so we started out at a positive 15, so we started out here. Then we went 20 backwards. We took away 20, so we ended up at a negative 5. So let's change the problem just so you can see it's still the same thing. What if this were 15 plus a negative 20? We would still get the same answer. Let's say I'll do positive 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm going to scratch this guy out for a second so we don't get confused. So here's my positive 15 that I just put here. Now I'm going to do a negative 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So I've just made a model of positive 15 plus a negative 20. So we all know what happens when positives and negatives get together. So we have 15 positives, which are going to cancel out 15 of these negatives. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12, 13, 14, 15. So I'm going to take out, so this is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, and 15 are all going to get canceled out by these 15 positives. What are we left with? Negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, and negative 5. So once again, we got the same answer. So adding a negative or subtracting a positive means the same thing. Just think of it as putting together positive 15 and minus 20. Put them together, see what you get. So let's clear all this stuff off of here so that we can do our second problem. Again, I'm going to assume that you have paused the video and that you've tried the 8 minus 5 and that you've tried it on your own and now you're restarting the video to try it. So our first number is positive 8. So we're starting right here at the 8. Minus 5 means we're going to go in the negative direction. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 8 minus 5 is a 3. You'll notice that's the same thing as 8 plus a negative 5. Because if I have positive 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, and 8, and put it together with a negative 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 negatives. Those 5 positives and negatives will cancel each other out. Go poof. You're still left with a positive 3. So whether you do 8 minus 5 to get 3 or 8 plus a negative 5, either way, you still get a positive 3. Let's look at a different example of subtraction. It still works exactly the same way though. The only difference is that in our previous examples, our first number was always a positive number. This time, our numbers are negative numbers at first, but that's okay. It still works exactly the same way. So the first number is a negative 2. So I'm going to start right here at the negative 2 is where we're going to start. Minus 12. Minus, remember, negative, minus and negative really mean the same thing. It means we're going to travel in the negative direction. So now that I'm at negative 2, I'm going to have to move in the negative direction 12 places. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So here we go. I'm going to end up at a negative 14. So negative 2 minus 12 gives you a negative 14. Let's see if that's the case. Again, subtraction and adding are kind of the same thing a little bit. So what if I change this to negative 2 plus a negative 12? So you know how the chip model works. So I'm going to put 2 negatives here. Then I'm going to add 12 more negatives. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So if I start out with 2 negatives, then I add another 12 negatives. How many negatives do I have total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So voila, negative 12 minus, or negative 2 minus 12 is the same thing as negative 2 plus a negative 12. So I know I keep saying the same thing over and over again, but this is so important. I'm going to highlight this again. So minus and adding a negative really means exactly the same thing. So this minus 12 plus or negative 2 plus negative 12 is the same thing as negative 2 minus 12. Let's try one more. So I've got negative 5, so I'm going to start here at negative 5, minus 10, which means again I'm going to go in the negative direction. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 places to the left. So that takes me to a negative 15. That's the same answer I get if I do negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus a negative 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, negative 5 plus a negative 10 also gives me a total of negative 15. So minus a positive and plus a negative, again, gives you the same thing. Could you pause the video, try these last two on your own, then recheck the video when you're ready. I'm going to go ahead and start with this first one. So negative 8 is our first number. So I'm going to start here at negative 8. Minus 7 means I travel in the negative direction. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. That's going to give me a negative 15, which, funny enough, is the same thing as negative 8 plus a negative 7. Same sign, keep and add. Negative 8 plus negative 7 is negative 15. Then we've got negative 4 minus 10. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 negatives first. So I am going to go to the negative 4 on my number line, which is right here. Minus 10 means I travel in the negative direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 places to the left. So you're going to end up at a negative 14. Let's see if that's the same answer that we get if we add numbers together. So I'm going to change this to negative 4 plus negative 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4 negatives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 negatives. So negative 4 plus a negative 10 is going to give me a total of a negative 14. So again, subtracting something and subtracting a positive number, so minus 10, adding a negative number, means the same thing.